Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about Bukusu Circumcision ceremony, its origin, how it is performed, its rituals, dances, and etc. Bukusu is a large community found in Bungoma County parts of Trans Nzoia in Kenya. Male circumcision is the most powerful cultural event and it's called Embalu. It's a remarkable, distinct, and colorful activity. Circumcision started in odd year in 1801 and continued taking place in such odd years, missing out of the even years up to 1917. It changed to even years in 1920 because there was no circumcision in 1919, apparently due to serious famine caused by the First World War. Since circumcision started every year, songs are sung, horns are blown, and drums are sounded as a word of the blessing they candidates to declare their intentions to be circumcised. This is followed by months of dance, countrywide visits to relatives, and festive ceremonies, all culminating in a less than 1 minute operation that causes a young man to lose the foreskin of his male organ forever. What is interesting is what, for the sake of witnessing that 1 minute event, people seem to forget their old ages. The sick also forget their sickness and dance mercilessly. The origin of circumcision. Origin of circumcision is connected to the Maasai of Uganda, found in the Sebei region, known as Barua. Live along Mount Elgon in the district of Kapchorwa and Bukuo. One day, when some Barwa girls were playing in the courtyard, they saw a smoke very far away. They wondered who made the fire in the wilderness. One of the girls, called Nabarwa, volunteered to go and find out. She ran as fast as she could till she disappeared from her friends out. On reaching the fire spot, she found there a man was on hunting mission. The hunter was known as Fuya, son of Mahaya, Bamtoto clan of Bakongo County in Bale district. When Fuya saw how beautiful the young girl was, he fell in love with her and was eventually forced to abandon his hunting mission in order to take his bride home. When Nabara discovered that Fuya was uncircumcised, she told him if he wanted to marry her husband for good, he was to be circumcised. Fuya agreed and proposed. The boy went to Bara home, from where Fuya was circumcised according to Bara's customs. Later, Fuya and Nabara returned to Mtoto and settled happily as a couple. They begot 3 sons, who were unfortunate, always sick and weak. One day, Nabara's brother Aramunyenye came to the visit and noticed the condition of his nephews. He told his sisters and husband unless the children are traditionally circumcised, they will die. Fuya and Nabaro allowed Aramunyenye to circumcise the children. The boys were then nicely treated and fed, such that by the time they were healed, they looked well and gained weight tremendously. The act pleased even the neighbors who followed the same example, especially the event of male children falling sick. The act was used to apply treatment gradually. That became the custom, spread throughout the clan till it covered the whole Bukusu area until they came to recognize a unity of custom. However, important to Mera, though Mara herself circumcised a woman, the practice now adapted to the Bukusu community. Preparation for Embalu. Embalu is the ritual, is the circumcision ritual. Customs, dancing, bizeze, the bells, mutongo, beards, animal skin, wearing animal skin in the heads and even on their bodies were the customs of the Embalu. Ekutua, Pirere, Chinyimba is always used during this time. During dancing, there are three types of dances, namely Isonjo, preliminary dance to prepare for the circumcision ceremony. The second dance is visiting dance, whereby the circumcised boys go to visit their friends, relatives, and neighbors. And the lastly is ritual dance. A preliminary dance is called Isonja. The visiting dance is called Husinya, and the ritual dance is called Huminya. Preliminary dances are done during the month of March to June, at least for 3 months, and starts at 3 p.m. or in the evening at 10 p.m. During this month, the candidates are sorted out and are selected by elders to participate. Usually, an expert in singing is hired to sing while the boys are dancing. The visiting dance is, however, performed while candidates go around villages far and near in groups, accompanied by relative friends and well-wishers, singing or playing kadodi, the local rhythm and charming traditional drums, whistling, blowing horns or flutes, and dancing announcing their candidature. Those who are visited respond by offering presents, usually in form of money, chicken, goats, and cattle. The gifts are demonstrated strong relationship and friendship. They also give courage and encouragement to face the operation without fear, as fearing brings shame to candidates and their family and clans. The last dance, ritual preparation. The dance for ritual preparation begins a few days, usually 3 days to the real ceremony, and it commences day involves hukoya busa, hunywa busa, brewing a local beer for the party due to the circumcision day. The rate of dance now becomes intensified in that people dance kadodi until dawn. Beers from the millet and bananas are brewed in large quantities, and 100 of livestock are slaughtered and eaten. The elders clean up the sacred place and rebuild shrines as a desired by each clan. Inside the shrine, a special sacrifices, normally of fowl, goats, millet beer, are offered to appease the ancestor. At this juncture, the Kancha is taken to his mother's clan to announce to his maternal uncles that time has come for him to be circumcised, as to become a real man. During this time, drumming, dancing, irrational shouting become extremely intense, and people look up indeed. The circumcision day now it has arrived. During this day, a he-goat or a bull, depending on the status of the family, is killed in the courtyard, where the candidature is to stand for the operation. The animal's heart is then stuck on the pole and planted in the compound as a sacrifice to the ancestral spirit called the Basabwa. The offals of the animal are carefully examined and studied by the learned elders of the Omen, and the stomach contents are smeared on the boy's face, belly, and legs by the appointed elder. Thereafter, people of the different subclans move with their candidates to meet other subclans, and they pour the millet beer in the area before they move to their respective sacred swamps, where candidates are smeared with mud before taken back to the respectful courtyard for operation. By the time candidates will have become changed boys, full of determination to face operations. On reaching the courtyard, the candidate is made to stand firmly on a sack arranged for the operation. He holds a stick across his shoulders while focusing in one direction. Immediately, the sergeant holds, pulls, and cuts off the foreskin of the boy's penis. The crowd shouts in unison, "Huerere, huerere murua, huerere murua," meaning you have been damaged. You have been damaged. These words are meant to encourage the candidate to be firm, bearing in mind that since the operation has started, it has to be completed. What is surprising is that the circumciser takes hardly a minute to perform such seemingly difficult operation. However, the pain remains same, regardless of the time of the circumciser takes. After the bleeding has stopped, the flew the circumcised boy. Now a new man is taken inside the house, the day on which the boy is circumcised, or even the following day. Circumcisers come back to perform cleansing ritual called Husabiba. During this ritual, the circumciser appeals to the initiator to change and behave in a manner that believes a mature and circumcised man entry into the manhood. When they are cured after a prolonged period of isolation, the elders prepare to receive them officially back into the community to begin life as adults. Ceremonies are organized to make profound impressions on the minds of the young, newly circumcised, and initiated men to make them respect the traditional cultures of their tribe. This experience is so important in that the Bamaasaba men usually count the years of their lives after initiation because they consider boyhood period insignificant. No Masaba man, regardless of age, education, and riches, can be considered as a full man before he has been circumcised and initiated. The boys who undergo circumcision in the same year regard themselves as brothers and call themselves Bakoki. They are like people who are in the same school who call themselves old boys. This makes, as it were, they have their own restrictions here and there. For example, they are not allowed to marry each other's daughters. The tradition, which is an old circumcision itself, they are not allowed to wrestle one another. It's forbidden for one to meet another, walking on top of the roof in a house. It is bad omen to find a circumcised mate bathing in the stream. In case of violation of many of the above restrictions, the offender is asked to pay a fine to the offended. The fine is negotiable, ranging from money, meat, chicken, and beer. The bakoki is a gift given to mates. Bamkoki is a gift given to mates when one circumcises one's own son. It's considered to be the most important of all rules concerning circumcision. Lubaka. In some parts of Bukusu, the practice is still being carried out on a serious scale, while the others are given up. Let's talk about the circumcisers, the Vahevi. Vahevi, it's actually traditional responsibility handed down from grandfathers to fathers and sons. One cannot just become a circumciser because one has to be spiritually motivated. When one person is possessed by the spirit of the Buhevi, he hears the sounds of the bells and songs connected to the custom. His heart begins to beat and trembles. He appears to behave like a madman or a mad person. He can only get cured when qualified circumcisers uses circumcising knife to hit him tactically on the head without injuring him. In the case of circumcision is not around, people present can use millet yeast or sorghum flour to smear on the possessed head and face. Potentially, circumcisers are identified when they become possessed. Eventually, they are trained to become qualified circumcisers. The trainees begin with carrying soil dust and are shown how to use it. They then are taught how to hold the head of the penis for qualified surgeon to carry out the operation. Gradually, he is made to cut even the inner lining. When the trainers are certified with the learner has acquired the requirement skills, they prepare a ceremony for his inauguration as a circumcised car. While still undertaking training, the apprenticeship is asked to own 3 knives for his job. One is to be used on a healthy and normal boys, another one to be used on a suffering venerable diseases, e.g. STD, and one as a spare. These knives are kept in a scabbard and must never be used on anything other than circumcision. These double-edged knives are sharpened on a special stone. The new circumciser is required to obtain a small belt known as mungiri, which he wears on both legs and can make sound and to won't carry its time up. The circumciser must not circumcise his own son or nephew. To be a circumciser, one must be having a son who is already circumcised like himself or a daughter who is successfully married. If a circumciser falls down while running to go and circumcise a cattle that day, he must refrain from performing any operation. It is a sign of a bad omen. Before he starts his function, the new circumciser invites his age mates on a millet beer party, and they blow beer on his knives to bless him to begin his job successfully. There are 8 subgroups of Bukusu: Bakikwameti, Bakolongolo, Basawa, Bamaina, Bajoma, Banyangi, and Bakinyew and Bakananachi.